Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Michele Jutrisa and I'm an independent demonstrator of Stampin' Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you very much for joining me today, and today I thought we would look at another series. Last time I did about 5 weeks working on Z-fold cards. That was about a month or two ago. This time I thought we'd look at easel cards. So over the next 4 to 5 weeks, we'll be creating some different styles of easel cards using different demonstrator paper, or Stampin' Up paper, I should say, not demonstrator paper. Okay, so let's get started. Please jump on, say hello, let us know where you're from. It's always good welcoming new people and seeing some old, others that consistently jump on here as well, jumping on and saying hello. So please jump on, say hello. It's always great to welcome you. Hello, Leslie. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to turn down to my screen on my desktop. Okay, so what I've got here, we're going to be playing with the papers from Christmas Tags and More, 6x6 papers. And it's a mix and match specialty designer series paper. So you've got a range of different papers and there's 6 sheets of each one in here. So if I just quickly go through them, some of these have been already chopped up. Let's have a look. So I'll look at these two first off straight up. You get 4 sheets, 2 of each design of die cuts with this. So mine are starting to pop out, so I'm not going to go through each one there. But you also have, let me get rid of this one, you have this design with that one on the back. That can be cut down to a card front, and then you've got this piece as an extra piece you can use on a card. As you can see, I've been cutting a few of these down. This is another one of those ones. So you've got a card front there with the Christmas baubles, and it's got a piece that can cut off from that side, and the back of that one is that. And I don't think I showed you the back of this one here. Let me just grab this again. That is that design there. So I've been having a little bit of a play today. This one here has 4 little like tag fronts, and then you've got a plaid on the back of it. Fun little one to cut up. Of course, you've got your gingham. As you can see, I've already cut up some of those tag fronts to see what I'm going to create with that. So you have some nice check, not gingham, and it's got this one on the back. I'm a little bit all over the place today with my words. Got a little bit of a head cold, I think. Weather here in New South Wales has been so changeable. So there's the one, some more of those papers with that one, and some more of that one. I think I might have gone through this. Only about, what have we got? We have got 1, 2, 3. See what we've got here. 3, 4. So it might be just 4 designs. 2 of that one. So we've got this one here. We've got that one, and that one. And I think that's about all we have. And then there's 6 to 8 sheets of each one. So there's quite a bit here if you're doing bulk lots of card making. A nice little fun pack there that you can purchase and create from. And of course, all of these are on my online store. Okay. Hello, Joan. How are you? And Deborah, thank you for joining. Okay, so we're going to be using that designer series paper, and we're going to be creating a easel card. So as I said before, we're going to be looking at easel cards over the next few weeks. There are a lot of fun designs that you could try. So this is a standard sort of easel card. An easel card is a card that will pop up and stand upright. And you usually have some sort of ledge or something along the bottom here to create something to hold that up. So it's basically like a Z-fold card, which we've done before, and then you have a front on it. Majority of them are done as a portrait type style, but of course there's no reason why you can't do it landscape as well. Hello Lorraine, how are you? So there's quite a few different variations of this, and I'm hoping that over the next few weeks we can have a look at some of the different ones. So this, as I said, is a standard. It's just a very, very basic, so I thought we'd start with your basic. You create that Z-fold card there and put a front on it, which is what's going to give us our easel card. But, of course, that's not the same with each one. They're not all necessarily created with a Z-fold, but there is some sort of Z-fold components in there. I'm glad everything's good there in Canada. Starting to get cool there, I bet. Okay, so as I said, I'm just going to apologise first. I do have a bit of a head cold, and it seems to be getting worse as this day is going on. So let's bring in our cardstock now. I've already done a lot of pre-cutting. So I have my card base here, and I've just cut a card base 10.5 by 29.9, and I have scored it at 7.5, and I've scored it at 10.5. Now, of course, if you're using Imperial, you would cut this at 4.25 inches by 11 and score it at 10.5, and I think it's 2.2 3/4. You'd have to check that one on me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half and burnish it along that score line. And I'm just using basic white. And then I'm going to fold this section like you do with a Z-fold card and fold it back on itself. And this is what I was saying back when we were doing the Z-fold cards. This can be a base for a lot of different card styles. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm nice and even here at the end. Everything is matched up, and I'm just going to fold that out that way so I can burnish that nicely, because you really do with this card really want to make sure that these folds are nice and crisp. So that's the start of our Z fold. So that's the first portion of a Z fold. Now you can do these sort of cards on shapes, circles. I have done, and I'll see if I can find one to show you in the next coming weeks. I have done them with circles. I've done them years ago with butterflies. You've just got to be able to, whatever is the shape at the top of your card, you really want this part here to be cut the same sort of shape. But anyway, we'll go through that in the weeks to come. Okay, so to go on to the front of this, we need another piece. So it's the same size as our card front, and that is 10.5 by 14.9. And I have got that piece here. So that's going to adhere onto this card, and it's going to marry up with that piece there at the top. So it's going to actually fully sit on there. Now, I have done these cards without, with this piece here being slightly smaller. So let me just grab another piece I've got here cut. So I have done exactly the same card, but doing that piece like this. So you get a little bit of a step there at the bottom. So you don't have to go the exact size of the front of the card. You can step it down a little bit if you want to step it down. It just depends on what you're wanting to do. So what I thought I would do is you could either pop that onto here and then decorate the whole lot, or decorate this and then attach it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card front piece, And I'm going to start decorating it, and then I'm going to attach this. So I've got a piece of the designer series paper out of that suite I showed you before, and I'm going to adhere that onto the front there. We had a beautiful hot day. Was it last week someday? And it was sweltering in Sydney, like that. It was top temperatures. And then 1 or 2 days later, we're back down to winter. It's sort of gone from 31, 32, all the way back down to 11. And that's why I'm feeling so crappy at the moment. So I'm terribly sorry. I thought our summer was coming, Lorraine, and it decided to trick me. Okay, so we're going to adhere that piece onto there. Now I'm going to adhere this onto here. And I'm going to put my glue onto this section up here, because I can draw a line underneath there and attach my glue onto there. But because these two are exactly the same size, I can pop my glue on here. Because normally I like to put glue on my smaller piece and then attach it to my bigger piece. But these two are exactly the same width. And this is what's going to give us our easel part of our card. Now, I will put all these measurements up on my blog over the weekend. So if you are looking for these, they will be there. Give that a really good rub. Make sure that glue has spread around. But there you go. That's that first part of our easel. So all we need to do really is pop something down here to hold that, and that's our easel ready to decorate. So I'm now going to pop on the inside of my card 2 panels. So I've got a white panel there, and this is going to be like our card insert, but it's also part of the mechanism of the card. So I'm just using a little bit, because there's soft seafoam. There is a little bit of soft seafoam in some of these designs, in this designer series paper. And I just thought I wanted something soft on the inside. I didn't want to overpower the outside, because the other green that's in this designer series paper is garden green, and it can be quite a strong colour. And even though I have got garden green here, I didn't want it necessarily on this piece here. And this is just a little mat that's just going to give a little bit of edging to our insert piece. As I said, this is also part of our card mechanism. You need rain there, Deborah. Yeah, you can never win. We had, oh golly, came down for about 10 minutes last night, the rain. I was sitting, was making dinner, and I was just sitting at the dining room table waiting for things to cook, and it just poured down there for about 10 to 15 minutes. It was like, oh, look, I mean, our nights have been back down to 4 degrees here, which you're not that far away from me, Leslie, at Penrith, so you probably had similar temperatures to what we had here. And I mean, there was even a few people around here that reckoned it was sleeting the other day here. And I know there were some areas that were getting snow, sort of higher up in the mountains. But it was just like, hot, and then really right down to cold again. So my body's just really saying, I'm sick of this. I need summer. And my eyes are feeling all gluggy, and my nose is all yucky, and I'm not happy. I want some warmth. Okay, I'm just going to make sure this is all lined up, because something here is just a little bit out. Sometimes you just have to give things a little bit more of a fold. Okay, I think we're going to be right. So there's our card so far. So now we have our insert piece. So you've got a section at the top up here, and it's probably going to be about that high that you can write on. So we've still got somewhere to write, and then we're going to have our easel part here. So let's decorate this. So what I have pulled out of my bits and pieces is the move everything. So I've pulled out from here, no, not that one, the arches. Here we go. So I've got the Everyday Arches dies, and I've taken this one here, which is from it's the 5th one in, from either from the inside or from the outside. So it's in the middle. I've taken that one and I've die cut one of those in basic white, which is this piece here. And that's going to go on the front of my card. Now, I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals or not, but we're going to decorate this piece first. So let's have a look what I've got. So out of those die cuts that comes with the paper, I've pulled out 3 of the Christmas balls. I've also pulled out this little piece here, which goes little berries and leaves, which goes with the same as the balls. And I've taken a small arch and I have die cut a very small arch there. I've also just got a die cut circle because I'm not quite sure, and that's from the Stylish Shapes. Not quite sure yet which one I'm going to use. And then from these are fantastic, the Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. Okay, so all of this is mix and match products that we're using today. I've pulled out some sentiments. So again, I'm just going to work out which one I want to use. So I've got Merry and Bright, Happy Christmas, From Our House to Yours, and I've got 2 different ones of those. And I've also brought out the traditional sparkling sequins because I thought, well, we might add some of these gold sequins on here as well. So let's grab some dimensionals. So I've got some large ones here, and let's start looking at what we can do. So I'm just going to pop that down onto there for the moment. There's a lot of green in this, and this is why I've gone for the red. But whether I pop the red underneath and then the green on top, and then I've got this one here, which is just a little one, which has got both red and green. And I just thought that might go in there and there. So I'm not quite sure, whether I'm going to pop the red one on top, because then that, I think I do like the red one on top. And maybe just sit them something like that. So I'm going to glue this one here directly down. Just going to pop a bit of glue there in the middle. So that one there I'm going to have sitting around about there. Then this little one here, I'm going to pop that one. Now, do I put that on dimensionals, or do I leave it and pop this up on dimensionals? I might glue these flat. So I'm going to glue this one down as well. And again, I'm just popping glue in the middle, just for the fact that if I do decide to add, and I'm just going to bring that in a little bit more, just keeping it similar sort of distance maybe from that one. If I decide to add anything else in and around, I can pop things up if I wanted to. Now this little fella here, I'm going to bring him down a little bit, but I am going to pop him on a dimensional. Now I have got also here the gold and white baker's twine. So my scissors are, probably should have done this part before. I am going to take this, oops, I'm going to pop him a dimensional onto that one, but I think I might just pop a bit of twine in here. This twine is a little bit stiffer. I sort of was looking at doing a bow in it, but I find it's just a little bit too stiff. And then we'll take another one for the other one. We can cut these down, so I'm sort of just, won't be probably having these too long. Put that one into there. Don't want to pull these too tight because it is only designer series paper we're hooking that onto. Now, because it is so stiff, I may need to put a glue dot or something underneath those little knots just there. This one here is going to go on there. I'm going to pop that one onto a dimensional. Probably only need one dimension on the back of this. Oops. Now, with these, what we could do, could actually have that going over the back. And that one also, which means we could actually, if I can lift that up nicely, let me just grab just one little length of this. Well, actually, we could make a little bow for this one. We'll see how we go. Just one tiny bow, maybe. Let's see. Can I make this? Just want one really little. And that can go maybe onto there. Okay. But what I would like to do is take these over the back. And I've got some tear and tape here. Do this one here first. Let's take that over the back. And stick that down. Don't need all that. That's just excess. So I'll get rid of that. Take another piece of tearing tape. And actually, we won't need now to put glue dots behind there. Another one there. Okay, just give that a really good press, just so then that's all holding that down together. This little fella here, where is my glue dots? They were here. There we go. just going to sit that right on top there and give that a bit of a trim. There we go. That didn't turn out too bad, that little bow. So there's that's going to go on to there. Now, I could put Merry Christmas across there, or even across that one there. That's probably where I was thinking of doing that. So we might do that. Now, these are actually got adhesive backs on it, the sentiments, so you can easily just take the back off. But I've already got my little ball here raised up, so I do want to raise up one side of this. Now, that's quite adhered down quite well. It's not like a sticky back that's looks like it's going to come off easily. So I'm actually just going to glue that straight down. You could, if you wanted to, take the backings off of that, and then you get your embossing buddy and tap it on the back of this to take away the stickiness if you wanted to do it that way. But I think I can get away with just putting, I should say, a dimensional. Let's see if I can get one into there without it being seen. Yep, just so I think I can get a dimensional across there and then just pop a little bit of glue into this section there. So we've only got the dimensional on one end, glue on the other end, and then my Happy Christmas can go right across there like that. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. Also, one of the reasons why I want to put dimensionals on there, if I try to glue this down, I have got these backs of my baker's twine on there, and that can hinder the gluing or the flatness of that front piece. So by putting some dimensionals either side, I'm not putting it over the top because then I'm just creating more of a bump. I'm just going to pop a few of these around. There, just like that, and just take the backs off. Line this up. I'm using the design on the Designer Series paper just to help me line that all up square. So there's the front of my card. So now we need to finish creating the stand-up part. So this is where I've got these two pieces, and which one am I going to use? Now the arch goes with the arches, but I'm not going to pop it on underneath like that. I need to create something that's going to hold this down. So let's pop that up there. And I thought maybe this coming across here somehow. And then we've got Merry Christmas, and we could put from our house to yours on there. You could even not have that and just pop that up and put a couple of dimensionals underneath there, but I just want to put a little bit of decoration and pop that underneath there. So that was one idea. The other one was using that one, and then you got the smaller from our house to yours there. So you're just creating something like that in the center. Again, I would sit that up on a dimensional. So we could put something like that on there just to create a little bit of color, or pop that into the middle. So we could go the circle You know, I think I'm actually liking the circle. So it's still stitched, so it's got a similar look to our arch. What I am going to do is pop a little bit of glue on the back of my little leaf and berries. And I am going to pop that right in the middle there. Take the backing off this because I'm going to adhere that down. From our house to yours is going on there. Now that has got a little bit of stickiness there, so I am going to grab my embossing buddy. Oops. And just get rid of some of that sticky there with that powder. That's just taken away that stickiness. Let's grab a dimensional because we just need a little bit of height on this. Now you don't have to put that in the middle. You could even put it to one side because I'm sure that will still hold that up. But I'm actually going to pop it right in the middle there. So let's take that backing off. I'm just eyeballing that to the middle there. And that is just going to give me a stopper there so my card comes to that point there. So let's just remove some of these, and we still need to put some, maybe a little bit of these on there. I don't know whether, do we need it? Because we've got a lot of gold in this. Don't know whether I've got anything else in here. Let's just have a quick look, see what else we've got that maybe we can use. Some of these things need to go through them and work out what's current and what's not current. Even if I can find something that's in a soft sea foam. That one there, Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. Sparkling Dots, because I think that's Granny Apple Green. Not Granny Apple Green, Garden Green. Sometimes you don't need to add more gold. Sometimes something a little bit flatter. Oh, I really need to go through what I've got here. Don't think they're going to work. Well, they're from a couple of Christmases ago. The antique pearls? No, I don't think so. Let's have a look. Do we need to add more gold on there? What do you think? Or should we add? I think they're completely wrong. So there your garden green. That's adding more green. All those little Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add gold. If I add this one, it's just going to be some tiny little ones. No, what, Joan, what are you saying? How about the red ones? Yeah, those red ones were... Well, the red ones from the glimmer you're talking about. You got the red ones from the glimmer dots. They could look okay, couldn't they? Oh, look, let's go for them. Okay. Lots of cleaning up to do. It's on my list. I've written a list of all these things I have to do. So let's put some of these on. I think I'm going to have to buy some more of these somehow. So let's add maybe one down here. And maybe would look good with or without bling. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so too. And I'm not an overly blingy person, but look, I think one down here. We want to have it around, forming a triangle. 1, 2. I don't want to have it near that red again. We could do it up to there. One there. Okay. Look, that's done. All done. So there's the front of our card. Keeping it quite simple, really. Well, I hope I have. Just added a little bit of bling onto that. And that is an easel card. And as I said, it is based off like a Z-fold type card. But there's a fun, very, very basic easel card. So it's very, very simple to create. Thank you, Leslie. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at some other styles of easel cards. I saw a very interesting one yesterday on Instagram. So I thought next week we might create it. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely weekend as well, Deborah, and I hope everybody else as well. Stay safe and join me next Friday and we'll create another easel card. Have a lovely day. Bye.